Alright. Am I recording? Alright, I think I am. Alright, welcome back to Plain Explain number... Do I not have Trojan on this table? Number 31. My Trojan expired, and I've been meaning to buy it, but... See, but I haven't yet, because of reasons. I've been having trouble getting my debit card on fraud protected. So I've not been able to purchase shit online for like the last 2 days because I've been on hold with CIBC for like, I shouldn't reveal which bank place I use, but for like the last like 3 hours twice over the last 3 days or 2 days. So I'm just gonna have to get that sorted out. But yeah, so it's only gonna affect the stars tables, but yeah, gonna 3-bet here as well. And here I'm trying to think. I think we just fast play here. I think this guy is quick to put a lot of money in and see a lot of his hands being able to continue on this board. Obviously on a jack queen or anything, we're in pretty bad shape. I think this seems like just a check call here for me. Yeah, don't really expect to be good too often. Just gonna call this size. Not too thrilled. Hoping to see a check here. Doesn't strike me as the type to bluff. It's just so hard for like, what does he have here? He has a jack so often, and yeah, not an ideal run out. Gonna let it go. Got a table on my other monitor going as well. Here, multi-way, I'm gonna check. Anyway, the pool's pretty recreationally right now, so not the greatest content. But I'm gonna record and see if I can put a decent video out. Hiding my HUD on stars now, because my channel has gotten bigger, and I think like, morally, I don't know, I feel better about hiding my HUD. Though I don't really care if someone shows my HUD stats, so maybe if I wouldn't care if someone showed mine, I shouldn't really care if I show other people, but I don't really care to show it for the sake of the video. Yeah, never 3-betting this year. Here on this turn, I like to play like half pot or check. This hand could probably play half pot sometimes, but don't mind the check. And on this river, this is clearly a reopen. I think B75 is fine. You can play 125 in the delayed node since you're going to be betting a lot of your spades on the turn. And we're going to actually get to the river with a lot of our air here. But having the king makes me feel like just exploitably we'll play B75 in this node. But if you think about it, we're range betting flop, so we have any two, and then like we're going to have so many hands that we could potentially bluff here on this board. So 125 makes sense, because, yeah. We block just a lot of his calling range and shit, so I'll just play B75 for that hand. That node doesn't come up enough, like he's not going to be able to exploit me. Now that I'm talking about it on a video, maybe. Because I don't think I would have too many bluffs in the B75 node, I'm going to be honest. But I probably shouldn't say that on video. To be a little more careful now with the type of content, I'm not going to talk too much about how a specific player plays also. Because I think people from Ontario, there's a good amount of people watching. Which, I don't really care if someone knows a little how I play, but if I'm talking about specific exploits on certain people, yeah. On an 80, we'll call here versus this player. I've been meaning to fold these types of hands more, but he sized to a fine 3-bet size. He sized a little under, so we should call more often than not. Here with no spades, this is a clear fold. I think just overfolding the spot is completely fine. You do need some bluffs on certain runouts, but yeah. I'm gonna fold here as well. Here, just because of the recreational, we'll call King 9. I think this is not a profitable call if it was to regs or even a slightly fishier player. Just putting in 1.2 bigs, you're usually not going to make that much in return, but this guy has the potential to really blast off, so. Not to mention King 9 just plays terrible multi-way, so. Would be a snap fold. But this guy's like not just a fish, he's a pretty big fish. But yeah, this table's pretty fishy, recreational. This guy's like a fish reg, kind of. I don't even know. Anyway, I have to be careful of how I team certain players. But if I say something and someone sees this and has a problem with it, it's sorry. I don't know too much about you, don't take it too personally. just going off stack size and certain things. You could be a crusher, maybe I'm the fish. If someone thinks I'm a fish, I'm more than happy to play versus them, so yeah. Opening 2 went through from the cutoff with ace 10 off. But yeah. On a 72 here, we can do it with this hand. I do it a little too much with the connectors. Like, this is probably slightly too low of a number, but oh well. Here I'm trying to think of a size. I kind of want this guy to come along, so I don't know, we'll go to 9. Seems fine. Here it's just 20, pretty sure, unless I'm rusty. We're at 104, changes things a little, but if he shoves, you just have to side call. Here, probably, if he checks, I think we can value a river. I mean, there's the overbet, that's what the size he's supposed to pick. The question is what hands do we play, want to do this with. This guy's just probably not bluffing this enough. Like, obviously with the double suits, like the 10 of hearts and the thing, blocking some suited 7x, he shouldn't have, for example, 10-7 off. I don't know if that's the most relevant thing, but we'll go with the fold. Having the ace with no undercards, because that blocks less bluffs. Because obviously his undercards are going to be cards that are under the 7. Could potentially be overfolding there, but I don't know. People usually... maybe I could have called there. For the sake of the video, playing correct. Because I do think that hand's an okay call. Going to call here once, for sure. We could lead on the ace. How often does he beat 75 and ace? Like, almost never. Yeah. Like, is he just B75ing ace king? He obviously has like ace 6 of hearts and stuff, but... I'm gonna go here and evaluate river. Alright. But yeah, that's something to pay attention to, your opponent's sizing. So obviously if he bets 1/3 on this flop, the ace is a good card for him. The second he bets B75, like, is he just firing ace king? I could have checked there and bet 75 on the river and he would have folded and I would have made no money, but instead I get 20 more bigs because I play like that. Because like a lot of studying poker is not going through a sim and just running it, because I could run that there and then it could not be that good, but in practice I know what's more likely to happen. Like usually if something, how do I say this, like there's a bit of a stigma around doing things that feel right. For example, like, but a lot of times, like, when you're smart and you know the game, your feelings do have, like, a reason. Like, yeah, maybe at first, like, oh, this feels spewy, and maybe it's a good play. But the second you really start to know the game, like, this feels like it's folded a lot, this feels like it's underbluffed, this feels like it's overbluffed. Those feelings, like, are warranted, you know what I mean? And you shouldn't just ignore them. Sometimes you can think about it and it feels bad, and then you, like, think about it logically, and you're like, okay, actually, never mind. And it's okay to be wrong, but, yeah. I think that's a little side note, but yeah, because there's a stigma of like a lot of times like my gut feelings I notice like do have reasons. Like if I think this spot's just overcalled, then I bluff it anyway because I have the good combo and I don't want to quote unquote do something that's like because it feels not good. You know what I'm saying? But some spots I know they're overfolded and I just don't bluff it because it's like, you know what I mean. I guess what I'm just trying to say is when you feel something, look into why you feel that way about a hand. And don't ignore it. I think your 24 is fine. Yeah, let me know what type of content you guys would want to see, because I'm welcome to do like anything. I'm not like the sharpest I've ever been right now in terms of like theory and stuff and everything. I've been crushing it though, luckily. Definitely been running good. So yeah, here's interesting 2x plot versus recreational is not a bluff, obviously. Just has something. Right now I'm second on the leaderboard. Got Monday Night Football in like 2 hours. Let me know if we got any football fans in the who watch. Here with this guy in, I guess I can call. I don't mind it. 3 is a little low, because for example, a lot of his range is going to be pocket pairs, so like a hand like 6 is just so much better than 3s. I'm going to bet a 30 or why not. This guy is like could have like some random ass shit, and then this guy's pretty capped, because I think he actually would bet flop with a pair. 1/3 with range here. Been slacking a little bit on my pre-flop. I mean on my post. My on the flop, there you go. Jeez, I can't even talk. But I don't mind it. I think the small bet actually performs pretty well in general. It's like a lower variance way to figure out what your opponent has. Because a lot of these people play so bad versus it. For example, if I'm playing B125, yeah, they definitely will play very bad versus that too. But it's like for some reason, it's like I just don't know sometimes in which way they'll play bad. Whereas it feels like certain players you can just clearly tell which ways they're deviating. I don't know. That's obviously pretty anecdotal. I don't know. Hopefully some 1K videos coming soon. I'll probably be studying more. I'm going to. I'm gonna call this and versus the recreational. We had 10-9-8 earlier on this table versus him. And what was turned like a queen of hearts? Does that mean I should float? But yeah. Some more theory-based videos. Probably in the near future. I'll try and record sessions when they're a little more regular. But I'm sure people don't mind these exploited videos. I feel like those are the videos that mainly do well anyway. It's just showing people. I've had a lot of like pretty big bluffs today. Oh, my headset's gonna die. I'm not gonna 3-bet this. 114. On a 69. Ah, sure. Yeah. I could see it, but I'm not going to. Oh, my computer's lagging a little. Like plugging in my headset or something. Sorry for the sometimes my PC just farts. But I've had a lot of big bluffs today. Wait, did he bluff here? How did this guy make up such a big stack? Wait, when he went 2x pot, he bluffed. Oh, and the guy called him with just a 10. Jeez. Yeah, that's why I don't think it's a very profitable bluff. Like, I mean, you can go with the read that he is capped, I guess, and bluff, but I don't know. This guy's like so punty. Like, I would, just for my mental health, I wouldn't do it. Like, even though you know he just has like 10-5 off there, maybe, like, or you just put him on like such a weak hand. Like, he needs to fold. Like, think about it. Like, if he's calling 10-5 off there, like, even if you know he's weak, like, he needs to fold like so often. Like, what, 60 something% of the time? Like, there's no way he's folding that often ever. That being said, I do think people under like 2x pot versus fish. Cause sometimes when you just know their cap, just put 2x pot. Like, as long as you know the fish is like kind of well. Here you could argue defending it because he's a weaker player. That being said, I just think off 70 bigs, him opening 3x, I'm just not gonna call out a position. Like, I think people overrate the weaker player thing. Like, deeper you go, it matters more and more. I used to overrate it too. Here I'm gonna flatten. Weaker player. Can't be losing, I think. I don't think the people behind me are too likely to oversqueeze, which is the main way my hand loses EV. So it's like heads up. If I know it goes to this node, it's printing or it's making money. The call. And out here, I'm gonna bet a third with the suit. Like, oh, it's kind of a weird node because versus a reg, I'd be so quick to just be 175 this hand, but yeah, I'm gonna be 125. So I guess check on the flop as a fish is kind of not too strong, and I'm hoping he folds a lot of his king X here. God, on that diamond, I don't know, man. You guys would have seen some big punts, I think. I just don't think he has hand that's calling me if I go big on the river. Like, I think this reg is not like... I mean, this fish is not the... Like, he reloaded. I think he might be a kind of more of a reg fish. Sometimes I say them backwards. And here on this river, I guess I'm just gonna call, like, I don't know, check down the river. He just has it. Generally, I just think in this line he has, like, no bluffs, but, like, I don't know. I don't have that many hands on him, I'm just gonna see. Here, what I called the 4x, I guess I just check. That's kind of nice. My hand's pretty under-repped here. But then again, I don't expect people to really bluff this spot because, yeah. I guess I'm just gonna bet a third. It looks kind of like weird. Like, why would you bet a third here with a flush? I thought I had the SF for a sec. I'm gonna check. And here, I'm just gonna do this. Okay. I think fish aren't likely to like 3-bet hands like 7-5s deuces, right? So I think betting half here on this flop, unless he has like, you know, I think it's likely going to be pretty good for me. He's gonna have a lot of these like Broadway type shit hands that, ugh, man, such a yikes. I think I just have to call. It's close. I don't like it. I'll put it in. Twice. I'm starting to become a fan of 3 times. Don't do it. Sick. Yikes. 1 outer, watch. Me and the Queen of Spades are best friends, watch. Oh. Here, I think I'm just gonna fold this in. I don't like 4-betting the ace queen off. I don't think it really is a 4-bet there from that spot. He did size down, so calling does become a little appealing, but he sized down. I still think this is a fold. Here, I guess I call. You could argue folding here, it's fine. I just like sometimes when I don't know what a fish is doing and I get a good price, like I'm just gonna call. Easy for him to be gig over bluffing, and if he's never bluffing, it's not even like that losing. It's the advantage of playing correct in a way. It's like, the only way you're getting exploited there really badly is if you're overfolding and they're over bluffing. If you're like, it's hard for you to be giga over calling, right? That's kind of the advantage to knowing what you're supposed to call in spots. It depends on the node. Some nodes are different. Some nodes, if they're never bluffing and like you're like calling all your bluff catchers, you could be giving up a lot of exploitative EV. But they're my exploitative EV as I save 3 bigs. Whereas like, if he's over bluffing, I'm like punting almost like 10 bigs all the time, right? Anyway. My heads OR keeps falling out. This doesn't have RNG 72, I'll do it. Not the best video, as I've been saying some a lot of videos. Kind of more, what's it called? More harsh on myself now for the videos, because I have more viewers now, but whatever. I need a post, so hopefully I explain some things pretty well. My play might not be perfect. I might make some mistakes. In the comments, you guys can let me know. Like I'm definitely not feeling like I'm like super sharp right now. Like played a good amount already today, and I just figured I would record because I want to record before the game. So yeah. And I've been like playing a lot of 12 tables and stuff, but hopefully the things I say and stuff are still pretty fine. So you don't need to copy each hand for hand I play. Like definitely if you run some of these hands, there's gonna be a lot of mistakes. I'm not claiming to be Linus with the way I'm playing right now. Here you can actually build checks. Like, or I'll just do it. I'm recording. Under the 9, like above the 7 seems pretty fine. Maybe 6s is better than 8s. Like 8s actually might be a little okay. This is like a weird hand to reopen. I'm still gonna check. No river, I feel like bluffing. Like, I don't know. I mean, you don't. I like you have like no bluffs in this node, right? Like, I'm just gonna bluff. Like, what am I repping? But at the same time, like any hand that wants to bet here probably bets flop, bets turn. Like, I don't know. Probably went too big though. I feel like he just doesn't lead anything that's not like super strong. He probably just has like 2 pairs or something. But yeah, we got the fold. I'm just trying to think, like, in the checking node, right? Like, we're almost range betting flop. Like, if I have like queen jack, I'm probably gonna autopilot bet flop, let's be real. Here I decided to check back. I don't know, you can argue betting, but I think this guy likes the checkers a lot, and I don't think folding much shit out is that worth it, so. Here, I guess I'm gonna 3-bet my hand. The 4x is kind of sus though, I should just call it. The 4x is too sus. I'm check back again. And I will go for value on the river, because, yeah. This has to be a value bet. Gonna bet 1/3 with the 9s. I think kings can consider checking. 9s is just a better bet. 7s is obviously also okay to check. The reason why is just like I know 8's gonna fold, so might as well bet the hands like a value from. I mean, there is a limit. Like he has 10s and jacks there, so maybe like 10s is slightly better. But yeah, usually the lower the pair goes down, it's better. Kings, like, what's the point of betting? Like 9s is a 1-street hand. I'd rather get that 1-street on the flop, whereas kings is a 1-street hand. I'd rather get it on the river, due to like the amount of protection it needs on future runouts. I mean, obviously there's a limit. Like no concept in poker is like exactly the same every runout, because there's certain things that like the more runout proof you are, usually a lot of time with your hands is also why you want to put money on the flop and stuff. But it depends. For example, if you have like a suit with a flush draw, sometimes you want to bet those hands more and stuff like that. I'm just gonna bet here versus the fish. I think he like donks, and he'll let me know if I have queen 10, if he has queen 10 right here. And if he does, I don't really care that I didn't bet. I mean, we have 4 outs, but I'm gonna call here versus this guy, and I don't think I'm gonna fold river. Like, I don't know. I haven't tagged this, so I'm probably just gonna kind of call. Unless he goes like pot, because then I doubt he's bluffing. If he goes like half pot or something, I'm gonna call. I'll call. Yikes. The B75 was a little bit of a size up, but. Here versus B75 is gonna fold. Jeez, the spot here in a 4-bet on the other table. Wow, he checked. I guess we just check here. River's an ace, like what a joke. Never winning now. And he checks kings, like I don't know. What do I want to bluff river though? Probably just. Queen jack's kind of weird because he has queens and jacks probably, but. What do you guys think, chat? I said it like I stream. This on this number would be a 3-bet in theory here versus half pot on the river. Turn check. I just think we have to call enough, and he's not bluffing with these cards. Is he ever bluffing this hand? Probably not. Let's be real here, but I'm gonna call because I'm recording, and I think my hand's a call. Could I fold versus a regular? Definitely. I'm gonna call here with the 10-6. Like I said on this number, this would be a 3-bet. 10-6 is a 3-bet, well, like around half the time. Versus a fish check back, I'm just gonna overbet blindly. I don't think he has anything. Could I be wrong? Yeah. If he called, I would just not bluff any river. Maybe I'd be tempted on some, because I think he would still be kind of capped. But I would probably pick a smaller sizing and just trying to get him off a draw. Here when he bets like 2 cents, we're not folding anything. Yeah. And over folding post, because we have to over continue pre. It's like, yeah. Here just gonna fold. Yeah, that ace river kind of sucked. I think a shove there potentially could make money, but I just don't think anyone folds, like, really. It's one of the spots where it's like, he's getting such a good price. You're basically shoving to get him off bluffs. Does he have bluffs? I don't know. I don't think so, really. I think that's why 9s might even be a better bluff shove, though, than these other hands. Because it's like, I'm gonna fold here versus B75, because I think my club's dead a lot. I'm still drawing to 1, like, I don't know. I'm putting in like 4.5 bigs. I don't think I'm winning the pot that often enough. Maybe it's incorrect. Wow. I think we just fold here. Like, he's not supposed to take ace king pure, and like, he can have aces and kings, and or he could have aces and kings. Like, what are the odds it's both? Like, I don't know. And here, it checked through, or it went to this guy, and then this guy just shoves. Like, I guess we just have to fold, right? Yeah, good fold to me. Wow. Good fold me over here. I felt like he could be taking ace king. It's like a spot he takes ace king, but it's just, that's the thing. Even if it's ace king, yeah, we miss a dream spot. We still have outs. Like, it's just not jacks enough. That's like where a lot of your EV with queens comes from, right? And being priced in. It's like why when you 4-bet shove, you know, people play the cold 3-bet shove. It's why you still have, you can have ace king so often, as long as you're just taking like a hand like jacks or queens enough, and they're not priced in to call like the lower pairs. Even though you have ace queen, like let's say like 70% of the time, 30% of the time they're drawing to 20%. So I don't know if that's exactly accurate. Don't hold me to that, but you know what I'm saying. Generally, you still have way more ace king than you have overpairs, because the overpairs just kill them when they call with worse, and when they're right, they're flipping, and they're never crushing you. So yeah, my read is also like people are just a little nitty in the cold 4 line. I mean, some people, the people who do it properly, usually overdo it, which is kind of funny. Like I'd say me, sometimes I overdo it. I think pre-flop though I'm very solid. Am I perfect? No, but used to be better. How long have I been recording? 28 minutes. Okay, I'll wrap the video up decently soon. Got kings. This video has been okay. I think I've said a lot of decent things. Make sure to comment and you can talk to me in the comments. I'll respond to every comment. So if you have a question, just ask me. On a 3, this is close, but it's a fish, so it's a snap versus a fish. But if it was a regular opening 2.5 versus 2.8, I would probably consider folding these. I probably would fold these then. It's like a mix almost versus 2.5, so 2.8 would be whatever. I'm gonna check it here again. Here I'm gonna call because it's just a fish opening 4. My hand beats a lot of, like, can hit a lot of good hands. 10-9 suited. You could argue this is losing, but I just want to call it, so deal with it. I'm just gonna call here. So what, on an ace I kill ace king and hit a bad beat jackpot? Ace one time, guys, for 30k if he has ace king. I don't think he has ace king. Ah, sad. Yeah, he doesn't have ace king. Ace jack. Could have been an argument for raising versus the half pot, because you could say he anything better than ace 10 he would bet bigger than that. And I would probably tell you you're right. I was too mentally channeling my BBJ, and in my head I was like, well, if he has ace king and I raise him and he reshoves and I fold, I don't get to see my bad B jackpot. I could lose 30k. So I kind of knitted it up. But in my opinion, like I think raising there would be very profitable. I think a recreational is going to go bigger there with a hand that beats ace 10. So I think you could definitely get some value. Like if I clicked him and then I bet half pot on the river, he probably would call me. I could have made like 20, 25 more big blinds. And I think like if you were to give him like a theoretical range and the way he's constructing his range, I think I'm like never beat, like 0% of the time. So you can't 100% for sure range recreationals, but you can. Sometimes you can. Like if you play enough hands on a guy, like you just know he's betting pot there, or B75 if he has a better hand. Now, if he reshot on me, then I would not know what the fuck he has, but I'd be shocked if he did. Here, folding on a 37. This you're calling around like these hands 10% of the time. You basically call the lower pairs at the same frequency from everywhere. Just some places you open them more, so then you have to call them more. It's always around 10-20% to 3-bets. So when you're opening them 10% of the time, then you can call them 100% to 3-bets. If you're opening them 30% of the time, then you gotta roll whatever your high or low, 33 to call them. If you're opening them 100% of the time, then you gotta roll a 90 or something. You know what I mean? But that's how I do it. I see some people make the mistake of, because it's a softer table, opening them 100% of the time, but then calling them 100%. It's not really a mistake, because you can argue post-flop edge and everything. But yeah, you're not playing GTO if you're opening 100% and calling it 100%. And I think same goes for 4-betting them. If you're 3-bet calling it pure, then it's like, what? You don't need that much coverage of these lower hands. If anything, you don't want that much coverage. Here, I want the B75 over here. I don't know if it's correct. Opponent calls, turns an ace. Wow, that's a weird card for my range, because I'm not B75ing much of my ace X. I think 25% seems fine. 33 seems too big. Most of my range is gonna be under pairs, right? I could even build a big checking range, but it's kind of weird. Ace King off is definitely a good enough hand to B75 there in theory. Would I want to in practice? Maybe. Like if you have Ace King with no spade, you would want to B75 here a lot. Whoa, what the hell? Huh. What the fuck? Anyway, I hit the spade. I'm gonna shove here. It's really hard to have bluffs now, like let's be real. You could find enough though. I know I would. If anything, I could be over bluffing that spot. I just think they'll run out, it's so overfolded. Your opponent basically needs a flush to call you, so. Like most of the time. Like if he's an idiot player. But it would be changing. I'd probably be have a hand like jacks with the spade on the flop for value, and then by the river I would just turn it into a bluff, because I think shoving it would perform well. Maybe not. Maybe that's a bad example. Hand like king queen off with a spade, stuff like that. The reason why, anyway, back to my ace king point. At least that's true in heads up. Maybe in that hold'em node it's not true, or 6-max node it's not true. But a lot of times you want them to call with the ace that's not. Like if they have the ace of spades, when you have ace king, you don't want that because you want them to have it. Like if he has a hand like ace jack of spades here, ace 9 of spades, he's gonna call. And then when an ace comes off, you cooler it. If he has a hand like king queen of spades, he's gonna call. So that's why ace king can actually value bet when it doesn't have a spade. But when you have a spade, your opponent's gonna be mainly calling more often with pairs and stuff like that. So it's kind of a weird mergey thing. It depends on the node. Some nodes you want the spade. Usually I'd say on the later positions where you have more wide range of offsuit ace-x, you can use them on flush runouts as bluffs more than you need to use ace king. Earlier positions, you probably need this offsuit ace x to turn into a bluff more often. Anyway, I don't know if I said everything right there. Gonna bluff this hand. I don't know. He checked, and this guy's like probably valuing. He might be overcalling, but whatever. I have queen eye. Can't be that losing. If he calls me with like fives here, then I'd be like, okay, I probably should never bluff in my life. Anyway, I was a bit all over the place in this video, but I feel like posting, so 35 minutes. I think I made money this video. Hard to know. Did I get stacks? Got stacked a lot today. I'm up to first on the leaderboard. That's nice. Yeah. Any questions or anything I've said that you disagree with, please let me know. I'm not perfect. I'm still learning like everyone else. So. Look out for some 1K content. So I'll probably be playing 1K soon. Finally out of my like 20K downswing, which is nice. So it's running pretty abysmal. But yeah. Anyway, I think I'm going to call it at 36 minutes. Thank you everyone for watching, and I'm out. Peace.